friends, I want to share with you this evening 3 items. Item 1. A few years into our marriage, when Felix and I were staying in Paris, Malabon, my young sister-in-law, Tessie, asked me one afternoon, Maggie, she said, I was still Maggie then, Maggie, she said, what attracts you in a man? And I said, principally, intelligence. And how about you? And she said, principally, good looks. I think both of us got our wish because she got Ped Coronel, very good looking, and I already had Felix, whom I considered, and I still consider, the most intelligent man I have met in my life. And you know, that is a fact. Right after liberation, the U.S. Army conducted an examination for career placements. Without my knowing it, Felix took it. And one afternoon, he came home and said, Duke, he said, I took this examination and I topped it. I had the highest IQ among the hundreds who took the examination. You did not know that, I'm telling you now. And since he was an undergrad, the American captain told him, if you want to be successful, engineering is for you. It suits your talents. But writing was in his blood, and so he chose to be a writer. But 4 of his children took up engineering and have become successful in engineering. I will now invoke a mother's bragging rights and ask before to stand up one by one. Jack Bautista, mechanical engineering. He topped the board exams in 1978 for UST, and that has not been duplicated yet. Next, we have Mayo, civil engineer. Gina, industrial engineer. And Tato, mechanical engineer. So the American captain was correct. Item 2. Many of you, perhaps all of us, have heard the expression, marriages are made in heaven. But I wonder if you are familiar with a devotion called Los 7 Domingos de San Jose. It consists of an engaged couple going to Mass, receiving communion for 7 consecutive Sundays. I don't know where I heard it. Could have been my mother or the nuns in Santa Catalina. But when Felix became my boyfriend, I broached the topic to him. And he said, yes, let's do it. This was 2 decades before Vatican II. And so it meant that if you received communion on a Sunday, you had to go to confession on a Saturday. Right? Fasting was from midnight to the time you received the sacrament. Food and drink not allowed, not even water. And so it was difficult. Felix lived in San Fernando, Pampanga, and he had to take the early morning train. The train was the only visible means of transportation at the time. The train came from San Fernando, La Union, and by the time it got to San Fernando, Pampanga, the trains were full. He was a young man. He was standing all the time. He had to give his seat, if he had a seat, to ladies and elderly women. He got off at Azcárraga, took the tranvia to Pennsylvania. I'm now using the old names. Got off at Erran, walked to the corner of Tennessee where we were living, and waited for me at the corner until I would come. It could be 7, it could be 8, but he would be standing at the corner. I also had my household chores to do. The only maid has gone home to the province. I had the 2 kids. Vic was 7, Cholo was 5. I had to take care of them. But somehow we managed. Whether we went together or whether he was behind us, every Sunday we knelt together side by side at the communion rail, rain or shine. And finally, after 7 difficult Sundays, we were so happy. We made it. We were so happy. The year was 1944. The times were uncertain. We were hearing from the underground that the Americans had landed in Leyte. The future was uncertain. We did not know what tomorrow would bring, but there was a sense of urgency. In my heart, I knew that together, Felix and I would be able to surmount any obstacle, overcome any difficulty, face any hardship with equanimity, because, corny as it may sound, love conquers all. To be poetic, let me quote Shakespeare. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love when it alters, when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. And so we took the plunge. We got married. I was 20. He was 21. Item 3. Thinking of it now, looking at my grandchildren, I would say you would be crazy to do what your grandmother did. During the last year of Cardinal Sin's confinement at Villa San Miguel, I would occasionally visit him, and after kissing his hand and greeting him, he would look at me and say, "Nena, what did Felix die of?" And I would say, "Kidney complications." Just like me, kidney, just like me. "Nena, where is Felix now?" "Your Eminence, I think he is with us now. He is here with us." And he would look at me, take my hand, and say, "Yes, Nena, Felix is with you." And so tonight, taking my insight from the Cardinal, I wish to say this. Felix and I wish to express our gratitude to all of you. To God first and foremost, from whom all blessings flow. To my children who work tirelessly across 3 continents to make this evening truly memorable and meaningful. Blessed John Paul II said, "Man is man's greatest resource, and my greatest resource in this stage of my life would be my children." Will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Truly, our children make our greatest resource. And so, dear friends, who have graced this affair with your presence, all the families present, relatives present, friends present, I wish to thank you from my heart, which I like to believe is bottomless. Maraming salamat po.